Hello and welcome to In the Spotlight with Quocirca, the definitive podcast on digital disruption in the print industry. I'm Louella Fernandes, and today I'm joined by Shivaun Albright, Chief Technologist of Print Security at HP. Today we'll be discussing the challenges and opportunities around security in the hybrid workplace, and specifically what strategies HP has undertaken to help organizations mitigate their risks around print security. So welcome, Shivaun. It's great to have you here today.
Thank you, Louella. It's a pleasure to be here today.
And it kind of leads quite nicely into the point around zero trust security, because we've heard a lot about this over the past year again, because of the remote landscape and more users and devices connecting to the network from different locations. How do you think this applies to the print environment? And is HP working on, particularly on the side of identity access management? Because I think that's probably one of the core values of zero trust security. So be interested in your thoughts on that.
Yeah, great question. And, and zero trust is coming out more and more. It's a buzzword that's going around. And part of it is because of the work from home model and the risks that occur, that commingling of personal IoT devices with the corporate assets, right? And this model is really where you cannot continue. You can't rely on the perimeter of the network to protect these devices. They're out in the open, right? And that's where you need to have this zero trust, where you want to verify and never trust anything, right? You want to monitor devices for system health and making sure they're in a secure state. And you don't want to assume that the default configuration is accurate. And what you touched on is around also access control, making sure that you're authenticating that those particular individuals, and you're using a least privilege model of, hey, you only have access to the data on a need to know basis, right? And one of the things we're doing at HP as far as how it relates to this zero trust model, in particular around printers, is that we have that device resiliency, right? That's a core part of this zero trust. You need to be able to detect when the device might be under attack, detect those types of anomalies within the device. And you also want to have the secure communication, right, from the device up to the cloud, the server, wherever that may be. And policy enforcement is critical too, making sure that device is in a secure state as it relates to its configuration. It doesn't have vulnerable protocols turned on, or making sure it's got that admin password set too, right? Things as simplistic as that, and making sure it's running with the latest firmware. And then client authentication that you touched on is very critical. So we want to ensure that we provide walk-up, print, and scan authentication so that only those individuals that have been authenticated can actually pull print documents or can actually use the device for scanning to repositories. So that client authentication is very critical with a move towards multi-factor authentication and biometrics. It's very important to continue to authenticate at the device and ensure you are the individual you claim to be. And then continuously monitoring these devices is critical in that zero trust environment. And these are kind of the ways that printers address zero trust today.